Hey guys, welcome to our weekly Topaz AMA. Hope you guys are all having a great week. Got lots of exciting stuff to go over today. We've got a huge week lined up. Starting with yesterday we released our relays officially. So I'm going to be going over the relays in depth, what you can do with them, how they work, what you can expect out of them in this first epoch and follow-up epochs, and how they're beneficial to your own positions and the protocol. We got a bunch of additional releases coming up in the next couple days, so I'm going to talk about some of them, and some of them are still going to remain a mystery until we fully release them. But I'll give you guys some alpha, some teasers on that, and give you guys something to look forward to. But yeah, got tons of stuff to talk about, so let's dive right into it. Good evening, all. What's up, man? All right, so yeah, firstly, before we get into anything, markets are picking up a little bit over the last couple of days. That's great to see. Hopefully it continues. We've been in a bit of a bear market, but it's always nice to see some life in the markets. So definitely happy to see that. Always want to hear the alpha. Well, you came to the right place, my man. We got lots of alpha to discuss today. All right, so let's talk relays first. So they're already live on our DApp at app.topazdex.com, or you can just get there by topazdex.com and any of these big launch app buttons. So the relays, you're going to find them. I'm actually playing around with a couple of reworks on the DApp itself, including having the relays maybe put somewhere different. But for now, you can find them on the lock page. We'll make them easy to find no matter what, but I am playing around with a couple of different ideas in terms of laying out different aspects of the site. Another exciting AMA. Topaz is looking good. You bet, man. Good to see you, Del. Topaz, let's go. Yeah, so essentially what a relay is it's a way to put your VE Topaz on cruise control, essentially. It's a way to, I guess to start this off, we'll talk about how VE Topaz typically works. So you lock up your Topaz, you get a VE Topaz position, which you can see here on my screen. These are locked for 4 years typically. That's what makes the most sense. Actually, you can see I have one here that's not permanently locked. Basically locked for 4 years. That's just a small test position anyways. But essentially what you normally would do with a VE Topaz position is first, obviously you obtain it, you lock Topaz with our locking bonus. And actually, while we're here, let's take a quick look at this. Oh, this is doing great. Every time I look at this, even more and more Topaz has been slurped up from the bonus. So right now we're on a 30% bonus. So we actually started this with a 75% bonus. And as more and more Topaz gets locked up, that bonus is reducing. So this is actually the first tier that has 7.5 million Topaz, if you guys can see that. So all the previous tiers were 5 million Topaz per tier. Now we've bumped it up to 7.5, and I believe the remaining two tiers are even larger than that. I don't have those numbers right in front of me right now, but yeah, once this 7.5 mil is filled, the bonus percent is going to drop down, and there is going to be more Topaz available. So we do have a total of 50 million Topaz allocated for the bonus, and we're only 22 million roughly into that 50 million. So getting close to being halfway through the bonus. This promotion's working out great. It's going quick, and love to see it. So anyways, let's get back on topic here. So typically with your VE Topaz, it's something where you have to go in and you have to vote on gauges, which obviously you do on the voting page. So typically you would do this manually. You'd go vote, you'd go pick up your rewards from the dashboard, and that is essentially what you would typically do. I don't think I've claimed any rewards here, although I also don't have much of a position on this account. Yeah. So typically you would do this manually. So what the relay is doing for you is it's doing all of that automatically for you with a certain goal set, right? So if we go look at our relays that we have the Topaz Maxi relay, and we have a Topaz Compound and USDT relay. So for those of you looking to just accumulate as much VE Topaz as you possibly can, the Topaz Maxi relay is what's going to do that for you. So the way that works is essentially, actually, I'll go ahead and demonstrate this. Do I have to reset? No, I got one that I can deposit in. So you would just go deposit. Once you click deposit, you can see here the relay is already pre-selected. This is the one I clicked deposit on. So I just need to pick my lock. I'm going to go ahead and throw this one in. And essentially, I just have to agree and then deposit to relay. And this is going to turn into, it automatically forces your lock to be permanent, which, I mean, everybody should have permanent locks anyway, so that's not really a major factor. But yeah, so basically as simple as that. My VE Topaz is now in the relay. And what's going to happen now is at the end of the epoch, all the rewards that I've accumulated from the previous epoch will be rewards for my positions. Now, the way that you receive those rewards, it depends on which relay you jump into. So for our Topaz Maxi relay, again, because this one is optimizing your VE Topaz, what it does is it votes optimally to get the highest returns possible, and then it takes those rewards and any Topaz rewards that it gets from bribes or from fees, it will automatically use that to compound into your VE Topaz. And any fees that it gets, so like for example, it votes on the BNB USDT pool, it's going to get BNB and USDT rewards. It's going to automatically convert those into Topaz to add to your VE Topaz position. So essentially that's going to put a ton of buy pressure on Topaz. It's going to increase your VE Topaz. And we're going to be further incentivizing this relay to give you rewards above and beyond just what it's collecting from its voting rewards. And you can actually kind of see that right now with the APR being 1186. So relays actually, they were kind of like a week delayed on the epochs. So meaning that everybody that's deposited this epoch, the rewards that you would get at the end of this epoch actually came from last epoch. But because last epoch we didn't have relays released, there's not much rewards in there. So what I've already gone ahead and done is I've added 1 million Topaz as an additional incentive on the Topaz Maxi relay. So that's why you can see the APR is at 1186. So we're going to do this on a continuous basis. Like it's actually like really critical for us to do this first week so that we can get the ball rolling, just to get some rewards in there for those early depositors. So this way, like anyone that deposits, we'll call this the first epoch because we just released these last night. So essentially, if we didn't inject these rewards, everybody that deposited now wouldn't be getting rewards at the end of this epoch. But we are going to, I've already put 1 million Topaz into the Topaz Maxi relay. And I'll do something similar. You can see that this one is only showing an 8% APR. That's because I haven't injected any extra rewards into this one yet. But you can actually get an idea of how this looks because I've had these, this is the deployer wallet and I've had these in here since, a couple epochs ago when I first deployed this stuff. But you can see that when you have a position in here, you can see exactly how much VE Topaz you've accumulated. And you can see how much USDT you've accumulated that you can claim. So the USDT is claimable right into your wallet. The VE Topaz is just compounding in your position. So actually, I can demonstrate this for you guys. So this one, I'm just going to actually claim these rewards. So this is going to be 30 USDT that's going into the wallet right now. So I've got that. And now that I've claimed the rewards, I can withdraw. And my initial lock of 140,000 is going to actually be a position with 160 some odd thousand. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that for you guys. So if I scroll up here now, you can see that this position was in the relay. So what happened is I was able to claim out my 30 USDT of rewards, and my position is no longer 140,000 VE Topaz, it's 160,000 VE Topaz. So now I'm just going to actually go right back ahead and deposit that back in. And that was in the USDT one, so let's go throw it back in there. And I know that's, from previous protocols that I've worked with, some people like to withdraw it and redeposit it every epoch. It doesn't really make a difference if you do that one way or the other. But when you do withdraw it and redeposit it, it resets like your earned amount. So your locked amount is the total, and then your earned gets reset to 0. So maybe some people would like to do that. Is this actually letting me withdraw? Okay, so I gotta update that. It shouldn't actually let you withdraw. Oh, okay, so it's because I had to refresh. So when you deposit, this is something I should have mentioned earlier, but when you deposit a lock into a relay, it's there until the next epoch. And that's why I was kind of curious why it was letting me withdraw, but I just had to refresh it. But yeah, so once you deposit it in, you can't pull it out till next epoch. What determines the APR for relays? It's pretty straightforward. So because relays pay once a week, just like voting, essentially it's just based on the amount of rewards that are in the relay versus how much VE Topaz is going to be sharing those rewards. So, and again, because it's weekly and an APR is annually, it kind of extrapolates that out to 1 year. So, so let's say, for example, if there is $100,000 worth of Topaz, VE Topaz that's deposited in the relay, and the rewards for this week, if you multiplied them by 52, if that would equal $100,000, that would equal 100% APR, right? So basically, you take this week's rewards, multiply it out to a year, and then compare that versus how much value of VE Topaz is deposited. So that's exactly how that's figured out. If that's not clear, let me know and I'll try to explain it a bit better than that. Great news, Aaron. Can you swap between the relays, week 1 maxi, week 2? Yep. So just like I just demonstrated, you can, as long as you can't swap in the same epoch as when you deposited to the relay, but as soon as that epoch is over, you're free to withdraw, right? So I can demonstrate that because like all of these, this one I just deposited just on the AMA to show you guys. This one's been deposited, so again, this one I can show you. I can just withdraw it, and I could switch it to the other. So I just withdrew that one. I could go ahead and now and deposit it to the other relay if I wanted to. So yeah, you can definitely switch from week to week which one you want to be in. Keep building, Chad. You know it, man. Always building. Does relay charge management fees? Nope, zero management fees on the relays. They're just super beneficial to users, to the protocol. So yeah, there's no management fees whatsoever on the relays. And I mean, once we get more and more funds into the relays, I mean, you guys are going to notice in the charts when we have our automation process the relays, because it takes all those fees that it generates and it buys Topaz. Well, for the Topaz Maxi, it buys Topaz with all of those fees, and it's definitely going to put some green bars on the chart. So definitely looking forward to that. Is it possible to adjust the lock period to stay permanent when you withdraw from the relay? I just saw it was permanent, and when you withdrew it, it went from permanent to counting down from 4 years. So that's a contract change that, basically we can't change at this time. But the thing is, when you do deposit a lock to the relays, it does automatically convert it to permanent. So, so if you do want to keep it out of the relay after you withdraw, you would have to switch it to permanent, but you could just go ahead and deposit it again to a relay and it would switch automatically to permanent. Would a common profit strategy from a maxi vault position be to withdraw from vault followed by voting manually for the epoch, then taking profits via the rewards? Would a common profit strategy be to withdraw from vault? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. So the maxi vault is one where like its sole purpose is to build up your Topaz position. So if you're looking to take profits, that's not the relay that you want to be in, because it's just going to like maximally increase the size of your position. So right now with the price of Topaz, it's going to be extra beneficial because all of those fees that it accumulates, it's going to be buying Topaz with those fees. Based on the current price, you're going to get good bang for the buck on that, plus the additional incentives that we're putting into the Topaz Maxi relay. So again, for taking profit, it's not the best option, most likely, not for all of your VE Topaz anyways, but just for growing your position now to be in the strongest position possible for, when the markets are looking better, when, we're generating more fees, this is going to be something that it works out better for the long term. Hope that answered your question. Hey, man, how you doing? Great, thanks. Brilliant. Yeah, relays are pretty awesome. So if I add it to the relay, does it automatically vote for that week or no voting? Yeah, so the relay fully handles all aspects of your position, your VE Topaz position. It votes. So it's almost like you're delegating your votes to another entity. I mean, that's actually exactly what's happening. So, right, so like the entire voting power of the relay is just a combination of, oh, that's not the right page. The entire voting power of the relay is its combined deposits, essentially. So the manager of the relay, in this case, it's Topaz Protocol, it's going to be voting optimally to get as much rewards as possible. So it's doing the voting for you. It's handling the rewards for you. You really don't have to do anything. And it just automatically optimizes for you with extra incentives. Green bars would be nice. Looking forward to that. Hey, it's just a matter of time. We're going to keep doing everything that we got to do to make it happen. But yeah, the green bars from relays are definitely going to be nice. The million topaz you added to the relays, is there a place to see that? Yep. So I can share the transaction with you if you want. What's the? I mean, one way that you could see it is you could just go on BSC scan with the relay address, and there is a transaction there. Where is that transaction? Oh, it's because of the way. Here it was. So because I did it from the multi-sig, it doesn't like show directly on the contract, but um, there it was. So that came from our multi-sig, went through the relay and to VE Topaz, and it's in like, it's, so because this is rewards, it's held in a slightly different contract. And then it, like when you withdraw from the relay with rewards, it basically like allocates that to your position. It's kind of like complicated to explain how it works, but essentially these million Topaz are held in as like pending rewards essentially for when people withdraw their Topaz positions with rewards. The number of votes generated from the vaults, will that be displayed in the total count of votes on the votes page? At what point will the vaults complete its voting for each epoch? So the relays, when they vote, like for most aspects of the whole protocol and DApp, really the protocol, it votes the same as any other position. So just imagine like a relay is like a super VE Topaz position where its voting power is the sum of all of the other VE Topaz that's been deposited into that relay. So it's basically taking all that voting power from all of those deposited VE Topaz positions, and then it votes, but its votes show up on the voting page and it shows up everywhere just as if it was its own position, right? So just imagine like the relay is like some mega position. But yeah, in terms of like how it votes and how its votes impact emissions and how it receives rewards, like that works the same as like if a user had manually voted for something. I hope that answers your question. Will there be relays for Book and GBlue? Possibly. I mean, I think it's something where, we want to have a strong start on these initial first two relays. And, I mentioned that we can definitely have relays for partners. Aerodrome has tons and tons of relays. So, as we keep growing, we'll definitely set up additional relays. I could definitely see relays existing for Book and GBlue. So I talked about this on the X Space that we did on Tuesday. But like, one of the really cool things about relays is that we can definitely have relays for partners where partners can manage their own relays, or like in our case, like obviously Book and GBlue are our own, they're projects that are ran by the same team. We can create relays for those. And like what those would do is like, it would let anyone that's like a Book maxi, let's say, that's bullish on Book, which I'm quite bullish on Book myself. But anyone that's, really a Book maxi, what they could do is they could essentially vote, or they could take their VE Topaz, put that into a Book relay, and that would then vote on the Book gauges, and it would basically do things in an optimal way for Book. So, and again, we can do that for any of our partners. So like, I know Earn is a big partner that's been voting, or that's been bribing quite a bit. We could definitely set up a relay for Earn where their entire community would now be incentivized to pick up a VE Topaz position, deposit it into their relay, and then that would get them additional votes, and it would get them additional buy pressure because their relay strategy, it doesn't need to pay out VE Topaz or USDT, it can pay out Earn, right? So it can take all the fees that it accumulates, so that would likely be like Earn and BNB. The Earn it could just pay out directly, and the BNB it could automatically buy Earn with that and then pay that out to its users. So it'd be a way to get additional emissions on their gauge and also get buy pressure on their token and also get Earn rewards over to all of their participants. So exciting stuff there. I'm really looking forward to getting a bunch more relays set up, but let's get these two with a lot of traction first. And of course, these being the Topaz relays, we will be incentivizing these extra. So, but yeah, we'll definitely get some other relays going in the near future. Okay, cool. So I can just lock into a relay tonight. I'm good for next week. Yeah, I mean, you can just lock into a relay and just set it and forget it. Really, you don't need to check on it on a week-to-week basis. I mean, you definitely can if you want to, but. So the relays are also AI powered. So interesting question. The direct answer to that is no, they're not AI powered directly, but I did actually update our AI agent, our AI wallet, and our AI agent skill So they're all well informed on the relays, how they work. They've actually all gotten upgrades in terms of Topaz, VE Topaz, being able to query positions, being able to give advice on voting, being able to check rewards like bribe and fee rewards, and it knows all about the relays as well. So using any of our AI tooling, you're going to be able to ask questions or interact with the relays. In terms of the relays being AI powered, that is something that we can actually add. So like I've already mentioned that the relays, they vote optimally. Right now that's done manually. So I have to set, which, what I want the relays to vote on and like what, how much allocation to each of those options. That is something that we can definitely have AI handle for us to basically just analyze all of the different voting options and just make like a perfect split. Um, how beneficial that would be is kind of questionable though, just because, we can have the relays vote a little bit earlier in the week, and we all know that the voting, it kind of, evens out in the end. So, as long as the votes are spread sufficiently among like a bunch of the top earning pairs, it's going to be quite optimal just based on everybody else is going to vote around that to basically even out all the APRs. So but I think, yeah, that's something that we could look into and just have some AI automation go into determining the most optimal votes. But yeah, I'm not sure how really beneficial that would be, but yeah, it's something fun that we could look into. Yo, what's up? Somebody heavily dropped the APR by depositing a good amount of lock. Let's see. Yep. I mean, that's still though, 426%. Like we know that the voting typically, like what did the voting end on at the end of last epoch? Like I can't really check now because bribes aren't in yet, but maybe we can take a quick look right now. Yeah, so I mean, it's not a good time to look because the epoch just flipped and bribes aren't in and a lot of votes haven't gone in yet. So, but I think at the end of last epoch, the APRs were around 100% roughly. So I mean, even with that, some of the big deposits that we just saw, the APR here is still like over 4x what we typically would see on voting, right? So, oh yeah, you already followed that up with still great APR. Yep. Rebases on relay positions. If one was to deposit into a relay more than once in an epoch, would the accurate rebase figure be recalculated at each deposit? So the relay handles all of that for you, right? So that's going to be factored into the VE Topaz that you're gaining. Again, it's on cruise control essentially. So a lot of these aspects of managing a relay yourself, you don't have to worry about them when you're using the relay. Just move my 2 locks into maxi relay. Very nice, very nice. So I voted yesterday manually. So I get this right for me to enter relays. Let's say right now I need to sacrifice my rewards and reset my lock and then enter the relays. So voting is a thing. So voting is similar to entering a relay in that once you've done it for the epoch, you can't switch up like your decision, right? So like once you vote with your VE Topaz, you can't change your vote until next epoch. At the same time, you can't reset votes if you've already voted this epoch, right? So resetting your votes is something that you can do if you don't have an active vote that you've already actually performed this epoch. So for example, like the most common uses for resetting your votes would be like if you voted last epoch and again, in most situations, you don't need to reset votes, right? So if you vote last epoch and you just want to vote this epoch on something different, you can just go ahead and vote this epoch and everything is going to work fine. There's only certain circumstances where you need to reset your votes. That would be things like if you need to merge your locks or you want to split your lock, those require you to reset your votes, which essentially that just takes your vote off of whatever you voted on last. Because I'm sure as most of you know, if you vote on something last epoch, if you don't do anything this epoch, the vote just carries over, right? It just stays on that same vote. So again, to vote on something different, you don't need to reset. But again, certain things that you do in the protocol do require you to not have an active vote. So again, I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive, but if provided you didn't vote this epoch, like you didn't actually go out of your way to vote this epoch, that's when you can reset votes. And then that's when you'd be able to merge locks, split locks, or enter relays. Because when you enter a relay, you're basically delegating your votes to the relay. So yeah, you just need to have your votes reset prior to entering a relay. And I think that it will actually tell you that. So for example, I have this lock here with where I had the option to reset. So I already voted with this last epoch. I haven't voted with this epoch, but you'll see that if I try to deposit that into a relay, so that's 2710. Let's go take a look. So I pick 2710. You can see it's telling me I need to reset votes for 2710. And actually, I can reset votes again because I didn't actually vote this epoch yet on this, right? So this is going to give me, it's going to let me reset votes if I want to. So the first relay is to grow your VE Topaz position. The USDT relay would be for passive income. So we've made both of them grow your VE Topaz position. So again, I think it's fairly well explained in this little question thing here. So let's just go over this, I guess. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. So Topaz Maxi, it votes to capture the maximum rewards available, claims the rebase and all voting rewards. It converts everything to Topaz and it locks the Topaz back in, increasing every depositor's position. So this is the one that's the most bullish for Topaz token because again, all of the fees from all the things it votes on, it's going to be swapping that into Topaz and using that to build your Topaz position. So this is definitely the best option if you just want the biggest VE Topaz position possible. The second one is cool in that it also builds your Topaz position. So I'll give you guys an example. Like we're very likely going to be voting on like 5 different pools or gauges for this week. And those all have significant trading fees, but they'll also have, fairly significant bribes in Topaz. So the first relay, what it's going to do with those rewards, it's just going to swap everything into Topaz. It's going to take the Topaz bribes. It's going to take all the trading fees, swap everything into Topaz, and then use that to increase everybody's VE Topaz position size. What the second one's going to do is it's going to take all of the Topaz that it receives. So that could be Topaz from trading fees, but the significant amount of Topaz is going to be Topaz from bribes. It's going to take that and increase the size of your VE Topaz position with all that Topaz. But all the trading fees that it gets that aren't Topaz, so stuff like BNB, USDC, BDCB, ETH, any of those things, and those are going to be a lot of the common rewards that it's going to get. It's going to swap all of that to USDT and make that claimable to you. So it's a good option to not put any sell pressure on Topaz because again, all the Topaz it receives, it's going to compound. It's not going to sell any Topaz, but everything else that it gets outside of Topaz, it will sell for USDT. Of course, USDT, it'll just leave as USDT and make that claimable. Hope that clears that up. Let me know if you need more details on that. In order to realize profits from Maxi Vault, one would need to withdraw from Relay to vote manually next epoch. So the term realize profits is an interesting one there, right? Like the Maxi Vault is intended to build up your position, right? So it's something where like if you're bullish on the Topaz protocol, like I am, like so many in the community are, this is saying like, okay, right now the rewards are not like super incredible. So I'd rather just build up my VE Topaz position and I'll start either voting manually or maybe go into like the Topaz USDT relay in the future once my VE Topaz position is significantly larger, right? So you're basically saying I'm going to delay my ability to like have like a payout every single week because that payout is instead getting allocated to increasing the size of your position, right? So you're realizing profit just by your VE Topaz position growing faster than it would have otherwise, right? But so again, just to realize profits, what you would do is you would keep your VE Topaz in the Maxi Vault or the Maxi relay as long as you want to leave it there, and then you'd have a bigger position to be able to like realize profits after when you do manually vote after you withdraw it from the relay, or you go into the Topaz USDT relay. Simple process. Looking forward to seeing it play out next epoch. Yeah, and yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch, and I can't wait to see those buys on Topaz as it converts all of its trading fees into Topaz for the Topaz Maxi relay. Gonna be great to see. Just to let you know, when depositing into relay, the lock disappears from Rabby. Yeah, okay, so we might need to talk to them or submit a proposal to them because I think that they can handle that properly. Let me actually take a quick look. I think it shows it in a separate category. I didn't think it actually fully disappeared. I could be wrong though. I'm just taking a quick look at this wallet here. Too many positions here, it's hard to see. 27. Actually, I don't think I see it there. Yeah, we'll have to submit a proposal there to get those to show up properly. Because I've seen it with other protocols, it definitely still can show properly when locks are in relay. So we'll get that sorted out. All right. So any other questions about relays? All right, so moving on. We've got a big release coming tomorrow, something that I've already shown you guys, but we're going to be officially releasing our vaults tomorrow. So for you guys that have seen this, I think I did demonstrate this in the last AMA, but essentially what we have here is auto compounding vaults, where it allows our users to basically deposit their assets and take advantage of our great concentrated liquidity and V2 style farms and LPs. It manages your range for you. It manages harvesting rewards and compounding that into bigger positions. You can see that like with the power of compounding, the APY is quite a lot higher than the APR. Like for example, our top paying one at the moment has a 496% APR, but it has a 14,000% APY because that factors in compounds over the year. So a lot of great options here. We're going to be releasing a lot of information about this. But yeah, this will be officially released, and we'll add links to this on the rest of our sites and make this accessible. But yeah, very excited to see the action that we're going to get on this once it gets officially released. And we will continue to add more options in terms of vaults and continue to tweak the ranges of the concentrated liquidity vaults just to make it as optimal as possible in terms of minimizing any potential losses due to rebalances. And yeah, just making them as beneficial as possible to the point where you can just deposit, set it, and forget it, and just watch your funds grow. So very exciting stuff here. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about this just because we're not officially releasing this until tomorrow. But I'll just give you that little bit of alpha there. So some other things I want to talk about is I do have some more alpha I'm going to talk about near the end of the AMA, but some minor things for now. Working on some huge improvements to the site performance and other aspects of the DApp itself. That should be out in the next, probably later today. I've just got to review and make sure everything is still working perfectly. But yeah, we've got some big improvements to the performance of the site coming very soon. What has already hit is some improvements to the AI wallet. I've only got a tiny position in this demo wallet, but this now has full memory now. So if you tell it what your name is, it's going to remember your name. If you tell it preferences about what kind of LP positions you prefer, it's going to remember that. I still need to add a few more connectors to the AI wallet to be able to actually enter into a VE Topaz position or enter into a relay. But our agent intelligence in general already knows about relays and VE Topaz and how to earn with it and how to claim fees. So it's already knows all the stats about that, and you can talk to it about that. But in terms of actually like opening a position right within the AI wallet itself, that just needs another contract or two to be deployed before that'll work. So that's coming very soon. But yeah, anyone that is running our agent skill, you're going to want to tell your agent to update to the latest version. I'm putting out a tweet about that later today. I just wanted to have the relays fully released because a lot of the updates in the agent skill are related to the relays. And as well, you're going to be able to manage the vault positions through AI as well, in terms of being able to ask questions about, what vaults are available, being able to enter into vaults, being able to like see your vault positions, and so on and so forth. So all of that. So part of that, I'm waiting to officially release vaults tomorrow, but all that's going to be built into our AI, and we're going to continue to make AI an integral part of our entire Topaz experience. And speaking of that, we actually have, as all of you guys know, we did do a big reskin of all of our sites, pretty recently. But that was just the very like phase zero, I'd say, of our big branding initiative to like really give off that look and feel and confidence of the high quality protocol that we are, um, which means this is going to be completely redone. Well, I think it looks pretty good right now. It's I'm not a professional graphics designer. I'm not a professional guy when it comes to branding. So this is what looks pretty good to me is not it at the state that it needs to be in. So definitely this is gonna you guys are gonna be amazed when you see the refresh for the website. We're going to go through and we're going to again make AI a much more integral part of all of our experiences, our the DApp, and we want to have everything just be easy to access and to the point where you don't need to be a DeFi expert to get involved with Topaz. So there's a number of things that we're really focusing on accomplishing there. One of them is like giving users confidence in the protocol, having that professional look and feel and ease of use, and then also having it AI integrated to the point where you can easily just ask AI a question about the page that you're on, or a question about, how do I safely earn with my BTCB or my wrap BNB or whatever token it might be, or basically like any question at all within DeFi, you're going to be able to ask our AI and get a good answer, and be able to just initiate that transaction right away if you like. So, a lot of these things are just going to really help us to, I know that ultimately we need to get our user base into the tens of thousands, and that's, everything that we're doing is basically going towards that direction of getting, growing our user base. And again, in these market conditions, it's not the easiest to pick up new users. It's sentiment in the markets is not the greatest, but it's something where, we're going to keep building. We're going to keep doing everything that we need to do to make the most of every visitor that we get to our sites, right? Like there's a couple different like ingredients you need. You need to get eyes on the protocol, which we got a great team and we got a great community that keeps doing everything that they can do to get as many eyes on us as possible. But at the same time, we need those eyes to convert into users. And that's like where myself and like Dane, who's handling our branding, that's where like, we come in, where we want to, make sure that when somebody comes to visit our site, they get that confidence where they feel like, they can because obviously our protocol is extremely safe. It's built on battle tested code. It's something where it's very low risk to deposit into our DApp and our protocol and provide liquidity. So we just need to have the look and feel of the site give off that same level of safety and security that really already exists in the contracts. So that's a lot of the higher level stuff that we're working on, is just continuing to push towards being able to pick up the next 10, 20, 30, 50, 100,000 users for Topaz. And the metrics are increasing. Like our Topaz token holders is going up steadily. It's not going up quite as fast as I would like, but it is going in the right direction. One of the stats I love looking at is like our concentrated liquidity positions. I think we're just like a month and a half old, and we've already had like over 500,000 transfers of our V3 NFT positions for concentrated liquidity. So, we're getting a ton of action, and it's great to see the stats keep going up even in these market conditions. How about LP borrowing in the future? So that's an interesting question. That's something that probably won't be coming anytime in the near future, but that's like that's like a fun use case for vaults, right? Because a vault, when you deposit to a vault, you get a receipt token, and that happens whether you deposit to a concentrated liquidity vault or you deposit to like a V2 style vault. And what that does allow us to potentially do is like we can very easily assign like a dollar value to that receipt token for a vault. And just like we had with GBlue over on Abstract Chain, we had the GBlue ETH LP that got deposited into a gauge, and we had a vault on top of that, and then we had borrowing against those vault positions. Like borrowing against an LP directly doesn't make as much sense as borrowing against a vault, just because a vault is what's the word for that again? Mine went blank. A token that's increasing in value over time. There's a name for that. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, I mean those are the kind of tokens or assets that are great to be used as collateral for borrowing. So the vault is definitely something that we could look at using vault positions for borrowing in the future. I mean that'd be a great thing for a community member to build as well. Sounds good, Aaron. All right, what else do I got for you guys? Oh yeah, so the AI upgrades, agent skill. I've already talked about all that. All right, so let's talk about what's coming next besides the vaults that we're releasing tomorrow. And I've already talked about a couple things that are coming soon. So we got some site improvements coming in terms of performance. We got additional AI improvements that are coming in the next couple of days in terms of like actually interacting with vaults. Or actually, sorry, I said vaults by accident, but it's actually true as well. So interacting with vaults is going to be something that you're able to do through AI as well in the near future. But what I meant to say first is you'll be able to interact with VE Topaz. So you'll be able to deposit Topaz into VE Topaz. You'll be able to interact with the relays. You'll be able to claim rewards from your VE Topaz. So you'll basically be able to use the entire protocol through our AI wallet in the very near future. And I already mentioned the memory. So yeah, it's the AI wallet already has memory. So actually, I'll expand on that a little bit. So anytime that you talk to our AI where it's aware of your wallet, so it's confirmed what your wallet address is, so that'd be like on the AI wallet itself. If you've connected your wallet, if it's a Topaz ID, it should just work right out of the gate. If it's an EOA, it's going to ask you to sign a message because it needs to confirm that you're actually that user before it'll actually like work with memory. That's just a security thing. But yeah, that's already fully in place. So you can give it your preferences. You can give it, tell it things about you, and it's gonna remember, whatever's important that you tell it, which will, give you a better experience with the AI in the future. And also, actually, one other cool thing is it'll also remember your conversation, right? So I just said here, like rebalance my position. If I refresh this, it's gonna actually pull this right back up. Unless if I start a new chat, then it's gonna, if I refresh, it goes back to a new chat. But compound my position, right? I mean, there's not really much to compound because I just rebalanced this right before. All right, that wasn't supposed to do that. Didn't propose the transaction, compound my position. I've seen that the odd time. Let me know if you guys see that. Okay, there we go. So I don't know why, for some reason, it didn't actually propose the transaction that first time. Like I'd say 98% of the time it does, but I have seen that the odd time before. If you guys have seen that too, let me know, and I'll see what's causing that. But yes, I can go ahead and execute this. And this is not on Topaz ID, so it's through just a traditional wallet. But yeah, there we go. That's all done. But yeah, if I refresh this, you'll see. I mean, the option to like simulate the transaction's gone, but because it's likely old. But yeah, you can it basically maintains your conversation there, unless you go new conversation. Okay, so let's talk about what's coming up next. We've got a couple major announcements coming. I'd say over the next today's Thursday. I'd say by Sunday, we've got two major announcements, not including vaults. The vaults is coming tomorrow, but two huge announcements outside of that, both extremely bullish for Topaz. One is going to provide an immediate big upside to Topaz, and the second one is going to do something similar, maybe not quite as quick and not quite as directly, but the second one is going to be something that's a really fun Topaz edition that's going to be extremely beneficial for Topaz and something that's going to be really fun for people to participate in and get involved in. So you can expect both of those. Let me say, I'll just say just to be safe, I'll say before the end of Monday, but most likely we'll see all of that being released by Sunday. But let's just call it Monday just to be safe. And that's also going to lead into something else. So I'll drop a little bit more alpha for you guys. But that second thing that's going to be announced in the next couple of days, it's going to lead into a hackathon. So we're going to be doing a hackathon, not in the immediate future because we do have to spend some time planning it out properly and some time in advance just to really spread the word about it. And then it's going to be going on for a couple of weeks or maybe even a month. But essentially, what the hackathon is going to do is it's going to have numerous prizes for people to build either on top of Topaz or with Topaz ID, or like, even better would be, using Topaz ID and then building something that works with the Topaz ecosystem, whether that be something that like is built on top of VE Topaz or built on top of, LPs or gauges or on top of the vaults that we have. There's so many different ways that you can build on top of Topaz, and this one of the things that we're going to be announcing in the next couple of days. It's a fun idea that it can be used as an example of like some of the innovative things that you can build on top of Topaz. Because like I get ideas all the time for things that would complement Topaz that you can build on top of the Topaz infrastructure. But it's something where, I guess I'm super familiar with Topaz, so, and I get ideas like 5 ideas a day. So I guess for me, it's like, it's just natural that it comes to me, a lot of ideas, but hopefully sharing some of this stuff will get the creative juices flowing in you guys to be able to figure out like what kind of stuff can be built on top of Topaz. And again, keep in mind, Topaz ID is going to become a huge part of the Topaz ecosystem. And we have a listing of apps in the Topaz portal, or like id.topazdex.com. And again, that's going to become a bigger and bigger part of the ecosystem just because of the ease of use of Topaz ID. And it's just super simple to onboard and to just get set up. And just the way that once you log in, you're just automatically logged in across all of our sites. It's just a really great unified experience. But like any of the dApps that get built in the hackathon that are quality dApps, we're going to definitely be listing them in Topaz ID. And it's going to, we're building a whole ecosystem there, a whole social network, social sharing, and just a directory really of tokens and LP opportunities and apps that are built around Topaz or with Topaz ID. So a lot of exciting stuff happening there. But I expect that after the hackathon, we'll be adding a lot of different apps to that app directory. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. So definitely stay tuned. We got a lot of really exciting announcements coming up in the next couple of days. So expect the official release of Vaults tomorrow. And then most likely Saturday and Sunday, we'll have back-to-back really major fun announcements for you guys. But like I said, give me at the very latest until Monday for those. So definitely can't wait to get those out to you guys and see your reaction to those announcements, and to see the Topaz chart as well once we drop those. Let's go. Bullish alpha. Awesome alpha. Yeah, just wait till you guys actually hear the news. Great stuff coming up. I think it's a great idea to open up Hackathon in order to expand Topaz Dex. Yeah, I mean, it's with our Topaz skill, it's just so easy to build on top of Topaz. And with Topaz ID, it's so easy to, just basically open your dApp up to everybody that has a Topaz ID, which is, you'd be surprised. There's quite a few users who have signed up with Topaz ID. Like I know a lot of guys don't like using crypto on their phone, or the guys that do use crypto on their phone, you have to go into like the wallet, into the browser wallet and everything. Like for me, like, just being able to log in with Google on my regular phone browser and access my Topaz ID. And then, if I go to my computer, just log in with my Google account there, and it's just such a convenient thing, and it's easy, it's secure. It has more capabilities. Like for example, I claim voting rewards on one of my Topaz IDs, and I think I had like 3 locks. So as some of you guys might know, for every lock that you vote, there's 2 transactions. There's one to claim bribes and there's one to claim fees. So if you have 3 locks that have voted, you got 6 transactions you've got to do in order to claim all of your bribes and fees. Well, if you use a Topaz ID, now that we've switched over to using the smart contract-based wallet, for one, you're not paying any gas fees. Topaz is sponsoring all the gas fees on that. But I was able to do all 6 of those transactions to claim all of my voting rewards with a single transaction. So it just bundles them all into a single transaction, which is super nice. So it's just beneficial overall, and it's going to be just one of the tools in our tool belt to get us to that 10,000 plus users that we know we can achieve. And that will be a game changer for Topaz, of course. All right, guys. Anybody have any final questions before I conclude? Can you throw more light on the hackathon? How will other products be able to participate? So the hackathon is something that I did mention today, but it's something that's in the very early stages. So we've been discussing it as a team, and we've come up with some great ideas. We found a great platform to host it on. I think it's called Dura Hacks. I think that's the platform that we're going to use. So there's going to be a lot of build up to the hackathon before we actually start it. So I mean, first we have to discuss internally like what the prizes are going to be, what our main goals are, like what we want to see built, how much participation we're looking to get, what we're prioritizing in terms of like what people can build. And once we have all of that figured out, then we basically set up the hackathon on Dura Hacks, and we will have like at least like a week, 2 weeks period before it starts, just to be able to build up hype around it and build awareness around it. And then, yeah, I mean, anybody's going to be able to participate in it. And the visibility is going to come from like Dura Hacks, which is the platform that we're going to be hosting the hackathon on. And just, of course, all of us and the project just posting about it and getting, again, all the big players on BNB are really keen on building. So, they're going to be very happy to promote a hackathon that we're sponsoring. So we're looking forward to having some partners come on board and maybe get some BNB chain tweets potentially around the hackathon. So there'll be a lot of ways that we can get some traction on it and get more awareness on it. How has the APR for each relay been determined for current epoch given fees incentives have not finalized yet? So I mean, just like every APR that you see that's live, it's just calculated based on the stats that it has right now, right? So there's a million VE Topaz there's a million Topaz of rewards that's going to go towards building every depositor's position, right? So I haven't put any additional rewards into the second relay yet. So you can see the relay is 5.83%. That's just based on I think I had about 500,000 Topaz deposited before the last epoch ended. So basically there's not much rewards in there yet because I didn't supplement it yet. So that's just basically saying well, the 3.4 million VE Topaz, if the epoch ended right now, the rewards that were accumulated by these VE Topaz would equal out to 5.83%, right? And again, same with this one. If, based on the rewards that have already been deposited, if the epoch were to end right now, the claimable amount of VE Topaz, not claimable, but the amount of VE Topaz that these locks increase by, so the earned amount would be equal out to 387% based on all the current stats right now. Obviously, we can't predict the future, so we can't show you what the final APR is going to be, right? We don't know. For one, it doesn't know if we're going to supplement more Topaz in. Also, actually, the relays haven't been processed yet for this epoch. So once the relays are processed, it's going to claim, I mean, there wasn't a ton of VE Topaz already deposited in there, so there's not going to be a huge amount of rewards that it has to claim, but there is going to be some. So it's going to take that and convert that all into Topaz. So the APR will jump a little bit when that happens, but we might additionally supplement more Topaz in there just for this first epoch, just to really get the ball rolling. And we're going to be continuously supplementing it every epoch as well. That's nice. Have you done a video explaining how a non-crypto savvy user could use the Topaz ID? I mean, the whole point of Topaz ID is really to make it so it doesn't need an explainer, right? So I'll just log into one right now real quick. Right, so continue with Google. Just like that, I'm in, right? So it's you still need to either use the AI wallet to jump into positions, or you got to use the DApp. So I mean, you do still need some knowledge, I guess, to really participate. But we keep working to make that level of knowledge that you require lower and lower. We want to make things as self-explanatory as possible, and we want everything to be able to be done through our AI tools just by telling the agent what you're looking to do. So, but in terms of the Topaz ID, again, that's basically designed from the ground up to not need any kind of instructions. Off-ramp feature, is that still on roadmap? Yeah, I mean, that's not going to be in the immediate future, but that actually is something that we talked about internally pretty recently, even potentially having a crypto based credit card that you could use as an off-ramp solution. So I'd say the first solution we'll have related to that will be we will secure some partners for on-ramping and off-ramping, then maybe a more custom off-ramping solution further down the line, like a Topaz branded credit card or something like that. How does that connect to the Rabby MetaMask wallet address? So it's an alternative, really, right? If you already have Rabby or MetaMask and you're happy using those, then you don't really need Topaz ID. Topaz ID is separate. It's for a social login or an email login. Although, I mean, it does actually allow you to log in with the traditional wallet, but you're going to get a new wallet address, right? So you can continue with the wallet, and I can now log in with my Rabby wallet or whatever wallet I want, but that is going to link a new Topaz ID, because again, Topaz ID is a smart contract based wallet. So this is separate from your EOA that you use through Rabby or MetaMask. So again, so you can use Rabby to connect with Topaz ID, but it's going to be a different wallet address that you're using. I don't know if I explained that very well, but think of it Topaz ID is always its own unique wallet for you. So you can secure that and connect to that and log into that using Google, using an email address, or using a wallet. But no matter which method you choose, you're still getting a brand new wallet that's your Topaz ID wallet. I think that's a better way to explain it. All right, guys, give it another 20 seconds for any more questions, and then I'll call it for the day. But yeah, we got a ton of stuff coming up. I'm super excited to release the vaults tomorrow, and tweak the vaults a little bit more in terms of ranges, add more vaults. If you guys, if there's any of the concentrated liquidity positions that you guys have really been enjoying that we don't have a vault on, definitely let us know, and I'll be happy to add a new vault for you guys. It's quite easy for us to add vaults anytime, or to tweak their parameters. So. But yeah, look forward to that announcement. And then again, we'll say before Monday, we'll have two major announcements for you. And again, one of them is going to kind of somewhat be an example or lead into a big hackathon that's going to be coming up in the future, which again is going to do a lot to get more protocols built on top of Topaz, get more people familiar with Topaz and Topaz ID, and it's going to just get a lot more eyes on Topaz overall and get a lot of really cool builds done. All right, we got a question coming, so we'll wait for that. Future of Topaz DEX is very bright. You know it, man. Will you be able to add this to the smart wallet, a way to use the call data that AI can give you? So that already works, right? So, so you're talking about call data like from the AI agent itself, not from like the actual AI wallet, right? Because like, so right now, am I on a smart wallet right now? Yeah, I am. Actually, no, I'm not. One sec. So actually, because I logged in over here, oh, I logged out, so that actually pulled me out. Actually, let me just see if I refresh. No. Let me just log into this again. So already, so let's just say I want to zap in, what do I have here? Let's say I want to, I'm trying to think of what I wouldn't have already done an approval on. Let's say BTCB. Use all of my BTCB to zap into, this should work, wrap BNB USDT in a narrow range. So this, I should be able to show you that the smart contract wallet using call data to, so wrap BTCB to this, swap this, swap that, mint that. So here's actually a good example, right? Because this actually would usually be two separate transactions to do an approval and then to do a, because like, even though it's doing a bunch of stuff in this atomic transaction, typically you would have to do the approval first, and then you could do that big batch of atomic transactions. You can see here, it's going to go 1 out of 2. Yep, I want to approve this, but this is not a separate transaction, right? So this is, I'm actually approving everything together right here. So when I gave you guys that example, of being able to claim rewards from 3 different VE Topaz positions all in one transaction, I actually had to press continue. It said like out of 6, right? So it started like 1 out of 6, 2 out of 6, 3 out of 6. So I had to go through all that just because like if you are approving a bunch of things at once, it does at least show you all the things that you're approving. But yeah, this is now letting me batch those 2 things together, and now I use BTCB to enter into BNB USDT LP. Great stuff, Aaron. Keep building. Yes, like I asked AI to give me voting recommend, and after it gave me the call data to use, just did not know how to use it. Yeah, so that's more of an advanced thing. So that's like similar call data to like what we're using here to be able to create these atomic transactions and stuff. So it's a great question that you asked. I don't have an exact answer for you right now, but it's definitely possible that we are able to use Topaz ID and the smart contract wallet to take advantage of that call data and be able to actually create a transaction with that. I guess for now, like that was essentially like more for like the builder side of things, where like people can use the Topaz agent to build things and know what call data is required to basically perform things in dApps, or where they've already put together the methods or the ability to take that call data and actually create a transaction out of it. But no, I mean, we can definitely tie the loose ends together there, and be able to generate transactions for you with that call data. So that'll probably most likely come when we have like AI on our main dApp, because that way like your wallet's connected. Right now, I'm guessing the place that you got that call data like was not somewhere that you had your wallet connected. Because like I guess you typically talk to the agent like on our agents site or through Telegram or through an AI coding agent or something like that. So we kind of need like to have your wallet available in the same place in order to be able to do something with that call data. But great question. Yes, call data from the AI agent for voting. Yeah, we'll tie all that together. Although the AI wallet's probably going to be the best place to do that. That'll be the first place that we implement that, just because everything's already there and it's already set up to manage positions and have your wallet connected. But that will be available on like our main dApp in the near future, and potentially even on the agents subsite if we add wallet connections there. All right, guys, we've been going on for a little over an hour. We got over 200 live viewers right now, so thank you everybody for joining. Yeah, stay tuned. Definitely keep notifications on from the Topaz Dex Twitter or X account, and some very exciting stuff coming up over the next few days. So I can't wait to see everybody's reaction to it. Can't wait to see the chart's reaction to it, and yeah, let's keep killing it, keep spreading the word about Topaz. Again, a lot of what we need is we just need more eyes on the project, and we're going to be doing everything internally to make sure we can turn those eyes into new users. And yeah, let's keep spreading the word about Topaz. And awesome stuff, guys. So I'll see you guys around the community. See you guys next week on next week's AMA. And actually, before I forget, every Tuesday we're doing an X Space, so be sure to catch that. That's Crypto Mischief is our host there on the X Space with Crypto Arborist, and I'm going to be joining in that X Space whenever I can as well. So definitely was super bullish, the first one that we had, and we're going to be continuously improving them and getting more and more guests on board and more exciting topics to talk about. So definitely be sure to catch that next week. All right, see you guys around, and look out for those announcements.